Oops, did I click on something? What is... Oh, the chat box is up here. Right, okay. Give me one sec, guys. Okay, see if I can put it right here. See if that does anything. I'm just gonna type a test message and I'm gonna see if I can, so just... Uh... Okay, that pops up there. Does it pop up on the... Okay, so it doesn't pop up on my main screen. I can't see it, so... How do I fix that? If I want to see it. Okay, so the Twitch chat thing does show up on the screen. It just doesn't let me see it personally on the game. Okay, well at least you guys can see your messages. I'll just have to resort to... I don't know. You know what? I can do it another way. Hang on. What was it? Alt, Enter. There we go. And then I can resize this ever so slightly. Whoops. Hold on. So I'm ever so slightly changing the size of the... I actually went into windowed mode here. So I can see what I am doing. Here we go. Right. Now I just need to resize it a little this way. There, now I can see the chat. How does that look on the Streamlabs now? Still, it looks relatively the same? No changes? Okay, good. Okay. So, this is gonna be a really laid back stream. So I guess I should get introductions out of the way. This is my EVE Online character. It's a little hard to read because I'm not doing full screen like I was earlier, but I think I can deal with that. This is my character right here. I'm currently trying to up my skills so I can do some more interesting things, one of which would be the ability to create stations. But for now, we're just trying to get some more capital. Right now, we've only got about 2 million ISK. So we're going to take our mining craft. And rather than trying to mine some of the more high-value minerals that you can only get a certain amount of, I'm actually going to get just Viltspar. Viltspar is... it's easy to come across. You can fit a lot of it, and I actually make more per run mining that stuff than I do per run of the other elements. So we're going to be doing that, actually.
Warp drive active.
Oh. The scale of this game is absolutely beautiful. I just love how big everything looks, or so small, depending on how far away you are. So, yeah. Normally, I actually, on normal occasions, I actually play with most of the audio turned off, and I play a podcast in the background. But I figure, you know, for, oh, someone is stripping the asteroid belt. Bastards. Okay, well, that was unexpected. How far is away? 7? Yeah, we can start. Okay, so if we want to look around, we can go into this mode here, which allows us to actually move the camera around. And we can... Oh, there's the culprit down there. Who's this? Another player. Member of the Academy of Russian Federation. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Anyway, if you're wondering why I'm kind of bummed out, it's because, well, this place is. I mean, okay, it looks like it has lots of asteroids, but in fact, it's actually getting cleaned out by this guy here because he's got a command vessel, I think. Whoop. It looks like yeah, this is one of those large mining ships, kind of like a Nostromo type vessel almost. And he's not like the other guy. The guy that I actually made friends with, the guy who uses drones as well, but this guy's not going to town nearly as bad as the other guy that I was seeing. He's got about what looks like 4 drones. The other guy had a command ship with like, what was it, 10 drones, all just stripping asteroid after asteroid. There's plenty of whoops. So whoops. Okay, so the asteroid I'm getting today is not these guys. These guys are, I can barely read that. Plague something. I forget what it's, how to pronounce it, but it's a high value mineral, and it's more high value than Veldspar. The problem is that I can only hold about 1/4 of the amount of this that I can of Veldspar in my cargo bay, or my mineral bay, I guess you could say. So if we mining does take a while. These lasers are slow to collect, but they collect large amounts at a time. Again, I was fortunate enough to find another player who was willing to help me with that. And it looks like this guy's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drones doing his dirty work for him. Meanwhile, it looks like he's also simultaneously mining with, yeah, he's got 2 lasers simultaneously mining rock while his drones are doing the other stuff. But yeah, one of the reasons I love this game, obviously, is just the sheer scale of it all. Like that's zoomed out. And if I go back to the tactical overlay, so that asteroid that I'm currently mining is about it's now 8 kilometers away, 8.5 kilometers away from me, which means this mark right here, this ring right here, is the 10-kilometer mark from my ship. And then this point here, just outside the dotted line, that's 20 kilometers. The scale in this game is absolutely massive. So this ring right here is the 50-kilometer mark. You got 75, 100 kilometers. That's how far away you can see things, and how, like, the detail, like, even on this small mining vessel, the detail's pretty damn good. But as you guys can obviously tell, this game is a very slow burn. When I say slow burn, I mean that doing things in EVE Online is a very slow process compared to other games. In fact, I guess I could open up a few things here. So this is this is the corporate chat. So I'm part of the Federation, the Galante Federation, I believe. And because of that, okay, you can come to a stop there. I don't know why you're aiming downward. So this chat here, this is 276 players currently in the Galante Galvat. I can't even say it right. What is it? What is the Galante Federal Navy Academy? That's where I come from. So the Galante Federation. All 274 people in this chat are part of that federation. And in case you're wondering what the universe at large looks like while we wait for our asteroid cleaning to begin, so this is the universal map. lots and lots of little dots. So what do these little dots mean? Well, first let's start with the home system here. We can zoom in very close to what we... So if I click right here... Okay, that's about as close as I can get. Basically, there's like all these structures here, and stations. Now, we can zoom out from that, and you can see that we're actually part of a constellation here in this general area. This here, coaster, used to be my home, or my primary system. Well, I unofficially my primary system. My primary system was originally, I think, down here, which had a very, I think only had one station. But if we look at the galaxy, or if we look at the universe at large, I zoomed out pretty quick because, I mean, it may not look that big, but each of these dots is a star system. And there's quite a few. It's not nearly as vast as Elite Dangerous, but that being said, each system is quite vast in its own way. Like, there's lots of areas to explore, lots of different factions. Each faction has its own, you know, enemies and allies. But the biggest draw about this game, what really draws me into a game like this, is the fact that everything you see is a result of player interaction. So if I were to say, let's see, group by constellation or by region, there we go. So here's a much more easy to look at version of the map. There's still a bunch of stars per square, but you can actually just click on areas. You'll see a whole bunch of systems pop up in the map. Oh, here's something. What's going on? I heard some weird noises. Were those the drones?
The asteroid is depleted.
Oh, looks like we cleaned out the asteroid. That's Fieldspar, so we'll... And that's another thing. When you deplete an asteroid of its resources, you actually, they actually remove the asteroid.
Asteroid is depleted.
What? No way. That asteroid was depleted? No, I'm just starting. Okay, yeah. No, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're doing just fine. Don't worry. What's he mining right now? Oh, he's going for that high value. Well, he's got the larger cargo base, so he can handle that. I, on the other hand... Yeah. Until I get a larger cargo ship like that, not gonna happen. In fact, that's gonna take a while because my ship... let's see, this is the type of ship I have right now. Capacity is... It says 50 cubic meters, but that's not right. With mass volume. Here we go. No, that's the volume of the ship. Never mind. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to show you. So this is the ship tree, I guess you could say. Kind of like a skill tree, except it involves different starships. So now the problem with this is that I need to actually get an Omega clone before I can advance to any of the other ships in this category, which means I either have to make a lot of money, a shitload of money, and buy Plex in the market, or I have to spend real money and buy Plex using credit card. I don't want to do that. I want to actually try and buy Plex in the market. It's ridiculously expensive. It's about 2.5 million ISK per Plex, and you need about 500 Plex to get an Omega, 1 month worth of Omega time, and as you can probably guess, that would be ridiculously expensive. That's let me pull out a calculator here. I need to check that out, because that's, let's see here. Oh, I should probably lower the brightness of my phone. Holy crap. I'm home now. I don't need it that bright. Okay, so let's go here. So about, say, 2.5 times 500. Okay, so yeah, that's oh boy, 2.5 million. So we're looking at about 1 point, give or take, we're looking at about 1.2 billion ISK for 1 month, to spend 1 month in as an Omega user, to gain access to everything else. If we go to the faction area, which is where this is the Federation faction, or all the ships in the Galante Federation, and the ones I currently have access to are highlighted here. These are the ones that I currently have the ability to use. The highest class ship I can get without Omega is a battleship, and there's about 3 different types of battleships. I think that one of the best ones, I guess, would be this guy here. This is a, can I upsize this, or is that, oh, I can. There we go. Gives you guys a good view of this. This is the Megathron Battleship. It's quite large. It's huge, actually. This thing's massive. Getting to this is going to be quite the time sink, but I think it'd be worth for combat ability alone. I think it'd be well worth it, because this ship alone, I think, would be. Is there a way I can? Let's see. Simulate ship. Here we go. So here's a simulation of the ship. Now, when they mean simulation, they show you all of the hard points and stuff. Basically, you can add a bunch of different modules and see how much the power grid is affected, how much the CPU is affected. Apparently, there's 7 hard points, so that means about 7 turrets. The ship The ship I currently have, my most well-armed ship, is the Algos, which is a destroyer class. Show you guys what that looks like. So this is the destroyer right here. Looks pretty cool, kind of like a Battlestar, because you can see it's got like two little hangar bays on each side in the back there. I'm assuming that that's cargo. You got your lower engines, you got the seems to be a rear cockpit, which looks kind of cool. Yeah, don't be fooled. This pronged, or this trident looking end is actually the front of the ship. And it's got a little bit of a Cowboy Bebop / U-boat design to it. I kind of like that. Yeah, these little circular areas, pardon me, these circular areas here are actually the hard points for where the weapons go, and this, I'm assuming, is where the drones can be launched. I do have a destroyer, an Algos. It's loaded with 2 drones. It's loaded with 4 or 5 turrets. How many is this? Sorry, I forgot. How many does this thing hold? Yeah, it holds 5 turrets. I know it has like turret ends on both sides, but each you can mount 5 turrets at a time, and only 5 of them will actually be in active use at any given time. So, yeah. Anyway, how's our asteroid coming along? We're We're over halfway, so how much have we made? So that's worth about 359,000 ISK right there. Veldspar, yeah. Actually, I'm curious about Veldspar now. Or Tritanium. What's the market value of Tritanium? Oh my goodness. I wonder if Tritanium's worth more than Veldspar. I know buying it is expensive, but what about selling it? Like, well, hold on. Because what's the market value of? Yeah, Tritanium takes very little actual space. Very hard. Yeah. Okay, so Veldspar is worth about 10.2 ISK per unit. But how much is Tritanium worth per unit? Or I guess even better, what's the galactic? What would be the galactic average? Yeah, it looks like the price doesn't change a whole lot. I like how you got like a stock market thing in the bottom there. The market ticker. Yeah. There's literally a living market in the game. That's what makes it so cool. And being a part of that's pretty awesome. For those wondering, yes, there is sort of like a front-facing mode, but it's not as cool as you might think because there's no cockpit view. I mean, for immersion purposes, it can be kind of cool if you like stuff like that, but I would not recommend trying to control a ship in first person with keyboard. It doesn't really work that great. Excuse me. Yeah, the two best ways to control a ship would be either like, what do they call this? Orbit camera or tactical camera. Orbit camera is good for general use. Tactical camera is effective if you want to see the it's really effective if you want to move your mouse move your camera around the map.
Asteroid is depleted.
Oh, looks like Veldspar. Okay, let's approach that asteroid because we're kind of far away. Where'd the other guy go? Is he done? He seems to be gone. Whoa, slow down. Don't bang into it, dumbass. I swear, some of these ships, you know. Okay. Slow down. Damn. Anyway, so like I said about the ship having like 5 hard points, so this ship has 2 hard points. I know it shows 3 there, but you can only actually have 2 turrets on at any given time. In fact, I'll show you that right here. Yeah, so this can only hold 2 turrets at any given time. You can put an additional unit on there for sorry, like a salvage unit or some other unit for another purpose, but you can't have more turrets than what shows here in terms of dots. I got a little, yeah, that's an afterburner. Basically, that allows me to cover large distances a little faster because this ship has a pretty slow top speed. I think it only goes about just over 300 meters per second. Compared to Elite Dangerous, that's pretty fast. But in Eve, like where distances are much more vast, that's a pittance compared to the distance a lot of us travel here. Oh yeah, they also have Project Discovery, which is like an anti-COVID thing. It's not really that interesting, to be perfectly honest with you. So here's the one Plex that I got for myself so far. That I got with I actually used the app on my phone. I have a phone app for Eve, and I used the Plex available to me at the time to, or I used the ISK. Sorry, ISK Plex. I used the ISK to acquire one Plex, and that cost my character about 2.5 million ISK. Something I have close to now, but if we're gonna reach 500 ISK, we're gonna have to be spending into billions. So, oh yeah, I forgot. There's this little. We can like pin certain objects or locations. Is that the academy? Yeah, that's the Federal Navy Academy right over there. Where are we? We're almost there. We're pretty close to being full. Yes, mining does take a long time. We've been here for about 20 minutes, which is interesting. Yeah, we've been here for about 20 minutes. So if it takes 20 minutes, give or take, to fill up the cargo hold, and then about 2 minutes to go back and forth. Oh, excuse me. About 2 minutes to go back and forth between the station and here, or any of the other asteroid belts for that matter. You're looking at about 20 minutes per run, give or take. It's almost done. He's almost full. I just wish these lasers were a little faster, because they're slow. I'm also waiting for my skills to go up, because the skill time in this game is horrendous. This Galante frigate skill level 4, I kid you not, that was like a 5-day wait time. Real time, not in game. It was 5 real days of waiting. So, oh, okay. It looks like we're full. Yeah, we're officially full. Oh, excuse me. Okay, you're full. Good. So, I just used the easy way. I'll go to stations, testing facilities, which is where I go, and hit dock. So now it'll automatically.
Warp drive active.
So now he'll automatically warp towards the station. He will automatically dock, and that'll save me a bunch of time of having to do it all manually. There's also some hotkeys you can use to do it as well, but I find you can play the entire game with just a mouse. You don't really need a keyboard unless you're messaging people. Like you could do emails and stuff.
Docking permission requested.
And yeah, this is like this is the station that we call home. You can tell we're just a tiny little ant in the overall size of the galaxy. It's pretty awesome. So here we are in the interior of the station. This is the docking area. Yeah, this is another thing. The animations for the advertisements, the animations for the billboards are pretty incredible. Oh, is there some screen tearing? Okay. Anyway, I'm wasting time. So if we go to our ship's hangar right here, nope. Ore hold. Here we go. That's the ore right there. Now I can't sell it until it's inside the item hangar. For whatever reasons, I don't think you can sell things directly from your. Pardon me. I need a drink. Hang on. For whatever reason, I don't think you can sell items directly from your ship. Okay. There we go. Oh, excuse me. Where was I? So, like I said, apparently you can't sell items directly from your ship. You have to move them into the item hangar beforehand. And once they're there, you can... Oh. I can add it to queue? Really? Oh, no way. I couldn't do that before. Oh my god. Okay, that's awesome. So yeah, there's 50,000 Viltspar, about 109,000, or about 500,000, give or take, worth of ISK. However, when we go to sell it, you'll notice that the price is a bit reduced because there is a sales tax. Every transaction you do in the market in this game has a sales tax. In this case, we're paying about. In this case, the tax is about deducted is 12,762.5 ISK, which we're still making a shit ton of ISK. That's still 500,000 right there. So we're gonna sell that. We're gonna. Oh, you can also make sure you can actually sell items at higher prices, but you have to wait a while before. Whoa, is there distortion? Oh, yeah, you have to. Am I too loud? Okay, sorry. Make sure that the gate is too high. You have to make sure that you're willing to. Or, sorry, you can. I was saying you can sell items at a higher price, but you have to. You can't do it immediately. You have to set it for a later term. It has to be on the market for a certain period of time before it'll go for the price you want, because the price you want is usually going to be paid for by another player. In this case, however, we're just going to go immediate. We're going to sell it for what its base value is, and yeah. So now we've got 2.7 million ISK, which isn't bad. If I do another run, we'd be at 3 million, which means I could purchase another Plex point. But I'm thinking you guys want to see some more stuff. You want to see what other kind of ships I have here. So this is a collection of ships that I currently have. There's the shuttle. They're all Galante Federation ships, by the way. So I've got the cargo carrier. This is, you cannot place an item inside its. No, really. So this is the cargo ship I have. It's incredibly slow. This is an incredibly slow-moving ship. It's also got the largest cargo hold out of all the ships that I own, and it is basically a massive. Well, I say massive. This is actually one of the smaller cargo ships in its class. In fact, if I actually go to info here and show you some of the other ones in the tech tree, I think this is the one I have right here. It's, whoops, I forgot. So this is the smallest one. What's the cargo size of this guy? Or the volume? What's capacity? Oh, capacity. Here we go. 550 cubic meters. This one I think is over 2,000. Yeah, this one's got a capacity of 2,700 cubic meters. Big difference from the little guy there. And then of course this one's got 550 again. I don't know why it's so much smaller. This one's that can't be right. Why would you only have 550? That is small. That is very small. What about the large guy? This guy right here. 5,000 cubic meters. Huh. That is interesting because the ship I have right now clearly isn't anywhere close to the biggest. I think it's because of those cargo containers. That's probably why. It's got the larger... It's got these larger containers on the sides there. Those probably hold a much greater volume of cargo. So one thing I haven't done in this game yet, and I don't want to try because the market is very volatile. I could buy goods in one area and sell them in another, kind of like how I used to do in Elite Dangerous. The problem is that in this game, the economy, like I said, is very much player driven. It's not like in Elite Dangerous where the economy is driven by what the developers want it to be. This is all driven by players. So ferrying cargo is a very iffy prospect at the moment. That being said, I mean, I do plan on using this ship for to carry large quantities of items. I'm just not entirely sure. I'm thinking I would use it more for ferrying items from station to station. If I choose to have a new home station, this is the ship I would use to carry the cargo that's on that station to a new one. But I'll show you the other ship. So you've seen the mining ship. This one little one here is actually called it's a shuttle. Basically, it is basically just, it has negligible cargo space. This thing is pretty much, whoa. This thing is pretty much just a glorified taxi. Excuse me. If we go here, yeah, it's only got 10 cubic meters of storage. That's not enough to put... That's barely enough to put like a few people, and that's it. So a ship like this would only really be used just as a taxi. I'll show you guys the smallest ship in the entire game, and it's not on the list because this game... So how do I explain this? I mean, technically the shuttle would be the smallest ship in the game, but no, the smallest craft you can actually fly, and I'll show you because I'm going to say leave ship, and when I leave the ship you'll see something interesting. This tiny little pod here, and just to show you guys how small that pod actually is, yeah, you see how it's a tiny insignificant dot. The reason is that this is your command capsule. This is a little escape pod slash life pod. This is the thing that you are actually inside the ship. Now the cool thing about this little thing is that it does have warp capability, so it can travel. This is essentially the escape pod that actually jettisons from your ship if it ever gets destroyed. So if your ship gets destroyed, you don't die immediately. You have a chance to get to GTFO, to home station, and possibly get a new ship. But I'll show you something interesting here, is that this thing is... the power grid is completely negligible. There's no hard points, there's no nothing. You can't add anything to this because this is basically your life pod. Its only purpose is to keep you alive. And it is... well, not necessarily. Its only purpose basically is to keep you alive and to interface with whatever ship you purchase and use. That is literally it. It has no defenses to speak of. It has no shields, I don't think. It's essentially basically just... It is the seed of your ship. So I'll show you another ship. So I'll show you guys the... what's another one? So this is the... I'll show you guys the Corvette. The Corvette's the ship that you start with. if you join the Federation, this is the ship that you'll actually start flying in. I'm not a big fan of asymmetrical designs, so I gotta admit that this is kind of off-putting, but it works. It does the job. Not necessarily a slave one, but it does the job. Another ship. I got this one recently. This one's bizarre. Pull that off. This is a bizarre looking ship. I like this one because I like the symmetrical look to it. But funny enough, this is actually the ship I was testing for. I was doing a tutorial, and this is the ship that I tested for survivability. Basically, it was gonna die, and I had to get out of Dodge as soon as it went down. The hard point location, like here and here, it's very bizarre. It almost looks like 343 Guilty Spark from Halo. That's all I can really say. Very, very bizarre design. What other ships do I... let's see here. So this one here, the Navitas. This is actually a ship I enjoy using, not only because of its design. This one's very symmetrical. I like symmetrical designs on ships. What can I say? But the hardpoint design's a little off-putting. So you got your hardpoints here, your hardpoints there, there. And it looks kind of weird, but it's a very functioning ship. I've actually gone into a couple battles with this ship, and I did relatively well. It's got really good capacitors. It can also take in drones. It's got a little hangar bay in the back there, which is kind of cool to see. Little details. So yeah, this one is actually pretty nice. It's pretty decent. Its main role, however, is a support craft. I would use this. It's not primarily a combat vessel, but more of like a support ship. I will show you another combat ship though, and this is one that I acquired through missions. Again, another asymmetrical design that looks really, really weird. Trust me, there's some weird looking ships out there. Some of them look just completely like they're melting. But this one's definitely designed for combat. I've got 3 railguns mounted on this thing. This thing's actually done its fair share of successful combat missions. Again, really, really bizarre design there. Not my favorite. What else? I'll show you the catalyst. Another asymmetrical design. Really weird. However, there is an advantage to this ship compared to my favorite one that I'll explain in a second. So this is a destroyer class vessel, similar to my favorite one, the Algos. But this one has a much larger hardpoint count. So this one I think has 8 hardpoints. Let's see here. Yeah, this one can fit 8 turrets. It also has a power grid of 84, which is pretty darn good actually. So you can mount like 8 turrets on this thing, and I'm not sure how well, like, it's, for me this would be more like a support platform, like a fortress system ship. Fortress. Its design is very weird, but it would be able to it'd be able to hold a lot of firepower, and that's what I think is the big draw for this one. However, my current favorite is the one I showed you guys earlier, the Algos. And here's my Algos. Whoop. Yeah. So the Algos has 4 turrets mounted. It does have some drones in the hangar bays. In fact, if I go here and show you guys, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, Four man, four 125 millimeter rail guns and a module and a light electron particle accelerator. So the particle accelerator is like a I guess you could say it's the equivalent of a machine gun. It says the capacitor depletes quickly. Recharge rate is insufficient to sustain modules indefinitely. Yeah, that makes sense. Especially given the... Yeah, the modules don't take up that much, these things here don't take up that much power, the power grid. However, the micro warp drive does take up quite a bit of the power grid. But this guy here, this guy survived a lot of fights. I've gone up against a lot of ships, and he's managed to, she's managed to take down quite the group of bandits. Joint Citizen Science Project Discovery. Yeah, that's the thing I showed you guys earlier. Oh yeah, there's a security mission. I don't know, is that worth it? Well, I joined skills. I need you to head to the system and meet up with Convoy at once. If they're in any kind of trouble when you arrive, please take care of it. Okay, let's do a combat mission. Let's do a combat mission, shall we? We're gonna accept this guy's mission. Okay, and we're gonna undock. We're gonna follow the autopilot to where we need to go. And you guys will get to see some combat. Set destination. Let's turn on the autopilot.
Autopilot engaged. Warping to Stargate.
Oh yeah, we're gonna jump to
Warp
another
drive
system.
Active.
I like how small everything gets when it starts moving. Just shrinks, like, even the planets. Oh. Oh, the Stargate was pretty close to the planet. Yeah, that's a good reference point for speed, is the planet size.
Approaching Stargate.
Wow. Normally, like I said, normally I have all the sounds off, so it's actually kind of cool to see. It's actually kind of cool to hear all the sounds in the game, because normally I have those turned off.
Autopilot jumping.
Oh, yeah. I was just looking at that battleship.
Autopilot disabled. Waypoint reached.
That can't be right. There's got to be more to it than that. Here we go.
Warp drive active.
Okay, we're approaching where we have to go. Just the speed at which everything moves is crazy. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of... let's go into tactical here. I see a lot of problems. Lots of enemies, so... Let's see, is it this one? Yeah, here we go. Hey gang, it looks like the second string escort has finally arrived. We're done with this transport, so we're going to get out of here. Take out this new trash quickly so you can empty the rest of the convoy and catch up. Oh, no you don't. Unload, guys. Unload into him. Alright, let's get a close look at this guy, see how he does. Oh, he's taking some nasty hits. Yeah, his shields are down already. Oh yeah, fire the accelerator too. Get the machine gun firing. In fact, why don't I just target all of them? And just launch, fire, shoot, ship after ship. And what is this one? What's the command for this? F5. Okay, here we go. Just practicing. So I'm not really moving it. I'm not really moving around anywhere. I'm just kind of sitting tight. But my shields are pretty good. Like he'll take a beating. There we go. You can also, one great way to do this is to gauge how far away they are. Okay, so my accelerator isn't gonna hit them, but those could do the job. So some of these weapons have a certain amount of range. This one, for instance, has almost no range at all. It's only for shipped up really close. But okay, why aren't you shooting at him? There we go. I like watching them get destroyed. Okay, we did our job. We are good. Our shields barely took that much damage, honestly. Our shields are only like at 61%, and they're recharging already, so yeah. Alright, let's reload all the weapons. Because here's my little cargo hold. I got tons of ammo. Alright. That was pretty easy. Oh, right.
Autopilot engaged.
There we go. Give her a second and then she'll start
to Stargate. Drive active.
She'll take us back home. So yeah. It doesn't look a whole like much. It's not as say as exciting as say Elite Dangerous, where you're in the cockpit and you're shooting at the enemy. There's much more of a real-time strategy type of feel to the game, and I like it. I love that. However, I also love like the level of immersion you get by. I love the level of immersion, or the different ways they have that you can do that. But most of all, I love the calm nature and the scale. The scale is absolutely insane. Like I could click each and every one of these things in order to shoot them at the enemy, but the hotkeys make it pretty easy. It's like F1 to F4 for my guns. I just hit all of them at once, and then he just unloads into them. It's actually pretty satisfying, and the larger the ships, the more turrets you can have, and the bigger the turrets you can have. The destroyers, I think, can only handle small turrets right now, but if I start getting into the larger freighters and stuff like that, I'll be able to use medium turrets, large turrets. Heck, if I it's probably a million years away, but if I ever do manage to build a Titan, there's a special module you can get
Autopilot
called a
disabled.
Doomsday module,
Waypoint
which
reached.
has area of effect damage, and those things are absolutely crazy. There's a reason they say that the ship battles in EVE are the biggest in any game. It's because it's true. They're insanely huge. Anyway, we're gonna have a conversation with our dude here. We did the job, and he pays us the meager earnings we get for working for him. And then we can request another mission if we want to, or we can bugger off and do something else. But yeah, so I showed you about mining, I showed you some combat. There's really, honestly, not a whole lot beyond that. There is this whole thing here where you can look up different agents. Exploration is actually a thing you can do. However, I want to try and start doing, like, this is the resource harvesting area. There's lots of different things you can do here, but one thing I want to try is planet harvesting, or planetary industry, where you can set up bases and actually extract resources from the planets themselves and collect their resources. So this is actually going to be a pretty short stream. I didn't plan on streaming tonight. Actually, this was just meant to be sort of like a quick little, hey, how's it going? This is what I'm doing, kind of deal. But yeah, and this is my character's avatar right here. That's what he looks like. So yeah, if any of you guys want to try out EVE Online, I would highly recommend it for those who enjoy like a more leisure type of experience, but it's still like the thrill of like commanding a ship in a sort of in a strategic manner, not so much in a first-person fighter style kind of way. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. And I'm actually gonna see if there's anyone else that I can if there's anyone else online. Let's have a look. Let's see here. How do I get to my... I'm just gonna... Or wait. I just realized there's another way I can do this. So, we're gonna raid... We're actually going to raid another channel. Yeah, let's... Some more leisure stuff. Stuff that's not too exciting, not too crazy. We're gonna raid another channel, so I hope you guys enjoyed. We're gonna be raiding Pearl Otter. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys all later.